Today, we will be diving into love. What does it take to build a relationship? What is a healthy relationship? And I have none other than Unique.
Yes, this is Yannick. We're going to talk about the chemistry of love.
Ooh, y'all heard him. All right, so get comfy wherever you are, and we will dive in after vibe in a bit. All right, guys. Now, so Unique, tell us, what is love?
Oh man, love. It's a lot of people would say it's undefined. It's that feeling you get that takes you back to your childhood, your favorite place. Understand? It's a chemical. It's beyond that. Because if you look, every religion, right, talks about love. You know, Christianity, the love of God, why He sacrificed Himself, right? And in a relationship, it's the same type of love that we're talking about. That sacrificial love that takes you beyond that pillow.
Ooh, you just got a little deep for me. I'm already hot. Yeah, so like for me, like my whole thing of loving is, you know, unconditional, being there for that person no matter what. And like you said, we have different types of love. Christianity, the love of God, the love that we have for our kids. But when you're in a relationship with someone, what is that love? I want to know about that love.
So,
is there a limit to it, or?
Definitely not. There's not a limit to it. That love, it more break down into a unity, a union. You know, growing up, I always heard that, you know, who's the head of the household, and there, of course, is an authoritative figure, but it's a union where the man is the head and the woman is the neck. You know, the head cannot operate without the neck, right? So
wait, why does it have to be that the man is the head?
Okay, so from a leadership standpoint, from a leadership role, women can be natural born leaders also. And man, you know, it's the same thing. But there have to be a dominating figure in anything. In a country, it's the president. Some countries, the prime minister. You're not gonna have two prime ministers at the same time or two presidents at the same time. So in a relationship, someone has to take that leading role.
Okay. So what do you say about relationship that the women are more so the leader in that relationship? Are you in agreement with that, or is it like you don't think that is the way it should be?
Well, in your unity, right, on your island of love, right, if it fits best where that woman, she leads in certain areas, then that's what works for you guys. See, it's not every area you're going to be great in, and part of being a leader is knowing when to step back and let the troops lead.
That's what's up. That was Steve. Okay, that's a little nugget. All right. Now, in a relationship, should there be equality in it, or like you said, the man should continue to be dominant, or should the role be split up? Like I grew up in a household where like you said, the man was the leader, but you know, the woman, which was my mom, you know, she had more force, she had more knowledge, but because of what society deemed as the man being the leader, he took leadership. And for me, I'm not okay with that, because if the woman can provide and do more, and if she's more forceful for the relationship, then why is it the man, you know, leading when he lacks certain things?
Okay, so let's not be naive or ignorant to the fact of knowledge. Where knowledge is concerned, like I said, women, you guys are quicker on your feet than we are, right? We, you know, as society would have it, we're more of the physical leadership, physical standard, and you guys are more of the nurturing, emotional, mental standards. So one shouldn't be without the other. It's when both comes by and together. That's where, you know, that's when you guys are leading, in my personal opinion, striking on all cylinders. If a man is set in the area of, let's say, finance, if a man trying to lead his relationship in finance and he has a gambling problem, he shouldn't lead in that area. The woman should take over that area, you know, pay the bills, make sure that you guys stay afloat.
Okay.
Other areas, let's say the woman is the breadwinner. You know, it's okay to not win in everything or be the figurative authority in everything. Sometimes you got to take the small roll back, and a great leader knows how to lead from the back. You don't have to lead from the front.
That is so true. You don't have to lead from the front to be a leader. Indeed. So what is it that a man looks for in a relationship?
Oh, wow. So that's a very good question. A man looks for security. He looks for security, right? Because in this world, we all want something that we all want to feel belong, right? And I think it's the same thing with a woman also. We love a woman that's very confident. Everyone loves someone that's confident. You know, it's not about your faults. It's about what you bring to the table. And when a woman brings confidence and peace to the table, oh man, she's in there.
Funny you said that. So okay, so all of that, you found a woman that she present all of those qualities, but yet men can have all that they want, but they still cheat. Why is that? What's up? Like, why? Like, brings me to the question: why do men cheat?
Okay, so it's from a mature level, and cheating happens on different spectrum. You have
But remember, he has all that he said he wanted. He wanted a woman with confidence, a woman that has it going for her, but yet he still cheats in her. So what is it? Like, I'm not trying to be biased here and say, well, women don't cheat. Women do cheat, but, I have him here, so I want to get it from a male perspective of why a man cheats.
So the
Why
male
not cheat?
ego is a heck of a thing, right? It's easily stroked, whether to boost his head up or demeanor him, all right? And that's part of the reason that men actually goes into that dilemma of
After he
cheating.
gets what he wants.
So for a lot of guys, right, they cheat on an emotional level and on a physical level. So we have those two options. Most women cheat on an emotional level. So when a woman steps out and cheat, she's done with you.
Pretty
so
much.
to speak. Someone else filled that emotional gap. When a man goes out and cheat on a physical level, he's going off what he's seeing, so to speak. For instance, like he might be at a party and he might see, oh man, the baddest girl just walked in the room.
So basically, it's just an attraction thing.
It's an attraction thing, and the gratification from his friends, where when men go out and be dogs, his friends encourage it, right? It's cheered upon. When women go out and do it, it's scorned upon, because she's supposed
Which
to be
is
the
not
nurturer.
even okay. That is not okay. That's not fair. It's like justifying why male cheat. It's okay for a man to cheat, but for a female to cheat from the time she has to cheat, oh, she's called out of her name.
Well, they say the world spins on a tilt, on an axis, and that is true. We don't. Even our days of the year is not equal, so we're not gonna expect it to be equal. But throughout the dawn of times, I always say, men, we're more exposed to these things, because back in the days when hunting and gathering was a thing, right? Men would go out and hunt and go to different lands, different farms, and they would encounter, different females in these villages, right?
Right.
While the woman stays home and she's nurturing the house. The man goes out and he's exposed to more things, so he has more stories, right? And when he comes back home and he's telling the other villagers that, oh man, I saw a bad one down by, village
A bad one.
A.
What's a bad one? Like, what is a bad one? What is a bad one? Let me know. What do you guys think a bad one is? Like,
well, a bad one, and this is purely from a physical standpoint.
okay. And it has nothing to do with speaking to her. So
No.
you don't even need to speak to her. You already know, like, dang, I want to holler at her because she looks bad.
Yeah, she's different. She has some. It doesn't have to even be someone that's better looking than your female. It's the experience that guys thrive after. We love different types of experiences. Like I said, it goes back to.
So why not create different types of experience with the person you're with? Role play, right?
Bingo, that is true, and this is where confidence comes in. Lots of females, they're not willing to take off this wig and put on the red wig that, because the man, sometimes he wants to change it up, but females, a lot of times, they're not open to that. They're like, this is me. You need to accept me for who I am.
Do you think men talk to their women about this before they go out there and start doing the most? Or you think that it is just they would, you know what, she's not going to do it. I'm going to just go ahead and look at someone else.
Definitely, because like I said, it goes back to our egos, right? Women, sometimes you got to know your woman. And
Okay,
sometimes
speak to the man, speak. Go on, speak.
yeah, fellas, you got to know your woman, right? A woman will follow easily if she's being led properly. Okay, so when you start facing those hiccups where you want to try something new in your relationship, you want to introduce, you know, that part that you think she's uncomfortable with. Sit her down, talk to her. Don't yell at her or, you know, force her to try to get to what you want, because she might not be comfortable with it. But there's always a middle ground. Always a middle ground.
Okay. And like I find relationships now, they don't work as they used to before, back in the days. Like, why do you think that is so? I know like social media plays a very, you know, important role in, you know, that relationship aspect. Why do you think relationships now are different from the ones in, say, our grandparent time?
So I think that has a lot to do more so with how you was brought up. Back in the days, we were mostly brought up on like the church figure, right? Religious aspect. And I think the more they take religion out of like the schoolings and stuff like that and start force feed, you know, the internet drama, the soap opera and stuff like that, we're gonna portray those image. It starts online and then it's in your life, all right? You grow, we used to grow up with Sunday school and more teaching, you know, more home cooked meals, and everything was more family oriented back in the days. And, you know, technology advancement is always a great thing.
Right.
But not everyone knows how to handle it because now we're more exposed.
Should be a limit, a balance.
Yes, there gotta be a balance. There gotta be.
I definitely agree with that. You know, nothing remains the same, first of all.
That is true.
So, you know, that being said, relationships will change after time. Now, like you stated before, women were more so the house body. You know, they're home, they take care of the family. But now you find women are in the workforce, thank God for that, like women power. But I've definitely see that, you know, the way how the dynamic has changed in women, you know, taking up leadership role, which is really good. And you just mentioned something online dating. Like, what is your take on it? I mean, my take on it is like, I met someone, we met online, and the relationship lasted for about 3 years, and it was good. I think I'm okay with online dating relationship. It's another avenue, you know, to meet that person, like you just never know. But, you know, you have to take your time and get to know that person. What is your take on online dating?
So my take on online dating is it's a lot easier because the person not there seeing your physical response to, let's say someone texts you a question, right? And you have time to think about it. You have time to sit there and type it out or whatever the case may be.
But why you need to think about it? It should be something natural. Like, it should come natural instead of having to think. Because I think when you have to think about a response, it's not, well, let me not say that, because when you think about a response, you want to give the best answer. So yeah, but okay, continue.
So in my opinion, like it's a lot easier to do it because that not everybody's a people's person.
True.
And let's say you're a shy girl, right? And you just see me and you're like, oh man, you're so hot, you know. Now,
have you ever been in a dating app?
have I ever been?
Yes.
Back in the days.
Oh, back in the day. What's back in the days, bro?
Way back in the days.
Okay.
But I say that to say this though. All right, it's a lot easier, but you're still not getting the true person.
True.
That takes time. All right, that takes being in mucky situations. That takes, you know, waking up. I'm not saying, oh, you gotta live with a person, get to know a person, but they do say that, right?
Do you think that someone should live with someone before marrying them?
Oh man.
Or should we stick to the, you know, to the old time teaching where before we live together, we have to get married?
You know what? All good things come to those who wait, right? And you can't cut a cake when it's hot. You gotta let it cool.
Right.
So I think you should do more dating than rush to living together, because you know the spiritual bounds of it. you don't want to just start off and you guys run into moving in with each other and stuff like that. Not everybody that you date, you should actually have sex with.
True.
Honestly. And once you start living with someone, that's bound to happen.
Yeah.
So, young man, make an honest woman out of her, you know.
Okay, so my whole take on that is, all right, it has an advantage and a disadvantage. Okay, so if I live with you before marrying you, I'm going to get to see the true and real you. Now, if I say, okay, before we move in together, we need to get married. We get married and then we're living together, and I can't stand the fact that you take off your socks and you leave them there. You're just a messy person, and it's like we not meshing, we not blending. Then what do I do?
Okay, so for that to happen, that meant you have missed plenty of signs, because a person can only lie for so long. His representative or her representative can only be there for so long.
Right.
You have missed a lot of small hints. A lot of people might have been telling you, hey, that's not the place for you. But because you're caught up in the game, you know, that's why even in sports, you on the field playing, you can make certain calls, but the coach sees everything from the outside.
True.
So family members and other people see everything else from the outside, and you just gotta listen. If you pay attention, you will see.
But then, you know, you say you gotta listen to them, but then at the end of the day, I believe in allowing people to go through their own process, go through that process instead of listening to some. What if she had went through that process and, you know, like of listening to her family members? She probably would have missed out on something. You know, she's not gonna feel it. I prefer
True.
when people feel it for themselves, because that's when it's more impactful and when you learn more, when you
That
go
is
through the
true.
process, instead of, you know, listening to, I mean, it can save you a heartbreak, but at the end of the day, if I'm being taught something, I want to get the full experience so that it can resonate with it.
Okay, I understand that. My point remains that before the boulder falls, the pebbles falls first. So if you find that the person that you marry is not the person you was dating, then like I said, you have missed plenty of avenues where that person dropped hints of who they are. Because if I'm a cheater, right, and you have never seen me cheat, there's other things that I'm gonna do that points towards, hey, this guy might be, you know, promiscuous. Yeah, so you just gotta pay attention. You gotta pay attention, or else you're gonna pay. If you don't pay attention, you're gonna pay with your feelings.
Hear that? If you don't pay attention, you're gonna pay with your feelings. So name some of the important elements of a relationship?
Man. Okay, so what might be important for my relationship might not be for yours. Like for me, I think that's for everybody. Trust.
Okay, definitely trust.
You gotta have trust, compassion. You have first things first. You have to be able to show these things to yourself.
True.
Lots of people don't trust themselves. Lots of people don't love themselves. You know, stable mind. Even from I'm not saying go out and have a religion, but have some type of spiritual connection to who God is. You know, and it's a big world, so my God and my spiritual connection might be different from who your God is. You know, and if you have to have inner peace. I don't think you should be in a relationship if you don't have these things, because it's not my job to bring you inner peace.
That is so true. And I was waiting to talk about this later, but now that you're on the topic of inner peace, that is why it is so important not to take brokenness into a relationship. I did that in one of my past relationships. I was so broken as a person, and it completely destroyed the relationship because I had insecurities. I had trust issues. That's why before you go into a relationship, take care of yourself. Find that inner peace, loving you, know who you are as a person. Because if you don't and you go into a relationship being shattered from a previous relationship, you will damage that relationship.
That's true.
So going into a relationship not broken, I think it's a very important element And like you should be mindful of that, because you're not saving just your time, but you're saving that person's time. Do not go into something until you're ready. Yeah. So it's like mindfulness, that inner peace, loving you, because before you can love someone, you have to love yourself.
Yes.
So if you can't show yourself love, how will you show that other person love?
That's true. That's naive. You have to be wholesome with yourself. And be honest. We all have faults. We all, what the great book, the Bible says, we all have sinned and come short of the glory of God, and even take out that higher being, that higher level, we have failed ourselves numerous times. And if you're failing yourself, how do you expect somebody else not to fail you? Hold yourself to higher standards.
I agree with you 150%. Yeah, definitely accountability. And also for me, another important element is communication, compromising, and being able to be yourself. Oh my God, being able to be yourself in a relationship is big thing for me. So many times, like I've seen women go into relationships pretending to be something that they're not, and then you run into problems. I've seen women being in a relationship and they had to pretend to be this person that they're not. Like, that blows me.
Yeah, so, all right. You don't want to be rigid in a relationship. Part of being human being is adapt and evolve, right?
Right.
And but at the same time, that's supposed to be something that comes natural, and you're supposed to advance in the right way, not become who this person wants solely, just what this person wants.
Definitely.
Now, you don't want no one to put your fire out also. So like, for instance, you change, let's say you like working out, and now you're in a relationship and this person doesn't like working out. That person shouldn't stop you from working out.
True.
Because then you're gonna be miserable, and you guys are gonna constantly argue and fight over the simplest things.
Yeah.
So you gotta let your light shine. Once you find out that, now it's like fire, right? If I light fire in this glass, right, and I turn the glass upside down, and now one of the necessary things for fire to thrive is oxygen. And if I take away that oxygen, the fire goes out. So in a relationship, we all have needs, and don't change who you are. The relationship should grow with you guys. Once you take away one of the necessary things of a relationship, it's gonna die. It has no choice.
Wow, that was deep. All right, what advice would you give to my divers? Like, tell them something that it can impact them, make them a better person, whether they're in a relationship or whether they're thinking about getting into one.
Okay, so divers.
Yes.
Have to keep in mind that this world is not a pond, it's not a stream, it's not the river in your backyard, but it's an ocean. Okay, so one relationship might not work out, but keep in mind it's an ocean you're swimming in. You're diving into a big, deep ocean. Work on you. Do the things that you like doing, and you'll meet the one that you want to meet, the one that fits you best. I'm a soccer player. I go to soccer games. I'm gonna meet a girl at a soccer game that maybe she likes soccer, and we got that in common. Don't like doing one thing but go somewhere else. Like back in the days, I hated the library, but I heard that hot chicks goes to the library,
so you go to
I go to the library to go find them,
right.
And then we have nothing in common. They like studying, I like partying, and now that's just a recipe for disaster. So stick to you. If you stick to you, others will too.
That is what's up. Yeah, and I just want to encourage you guys to, find who you are as a person before getting into a relationship. A relationship is not easy, and it's sad that the values of relationships aren't what they used to be. And, just work on being you, work together. If you're with someone, work together as a team. Don't divide the relationship, because at the end of the day, you guys are one. So he said it best. He gave you guys your advice. So remember, communication, trust, compromise, Those are all important elements to make a relationship work. But before you can make a relationship work, love on yourself. Love you first. Whether you're male or female, love on you first. Don't go into a relationship broken, because it's a recipe for what?
Disaster.
Oh, girl, you guys heard it. All right, so that's it for today, guys. Thank you so much for tuning in, and stay next time on Diving with Danella. All right, bye, y'all.
She has the qualities of a queen. She's a queen.